Hello, my awesome family. Greetings, greetings. This is Dayle, host of the Awesome Music Show, and I am blessed to go live one more time with you on this wonderful, wonderful Monday, October 24th, 2022. And I'm always saying that the year is almost at the end, and we are giving God thanks that He has allowed us to see this wonderful blessed day. Someone said from back home, every day above ground is a good day, and I embrace that thought. Also, it's another awesome day given to us by an awesome God to do some awesome things, and we're going to do some awesome things on this show today. I must say that we're having some little technical difficulties, but guess what? We're going to have a good show nonetheless, even if it's going to be a cappella alone. All right, so we'll be having a wonderful show. Must tell you that we're going to be having a pre-show for the ABGMA Awards coming up on the 4th and 5th of November, but we're going to be having a pre-show this coming Friday. We're going to be having some wonderful stuff happening on that show with some artists from the US, Trinidad, and other places joining forces to celebrate the pre show with me here on the Awesome Music Show. But tonight is a wonderful, wonderful night to have a wonderful brother on the show. All the way from the UK. And guess what? We're going to be talking about his new album, his album EP that's called Glory, and you can see some of that graphics in the background as well. And we're going to be talking. He's been making the rounds in Jamaica, several different radio stations, several online platforms. Recently, DJ Chini, my good friend and brother, Montego Bay representing, always blazing, always supporting the gospel ministers. And he has been making the rounds, and trust me, it's a pleasure to have him on the Awesome Music Show tonight. And we're going to be talking to him in a few. Sister Michelle, bless you. Thank you so much for joining all the way from Trinidad. And MB, Sister Michelle is like my new co host. Adopted her, and she has been really sending along some really good ministers. And D-Way, thank you so much for joining as well. It's really, really good to have you on, and you are all family to the Awesome Music Show. All right, so tonight we have MB. For those who know him from Jamaica, easy to just relate by just saying MB, Minister Blessed. And we're going to be talking to him about, he has been on the show before, and it's really good that we could touch base again to celebrate with him another EP. And trust me, he has been doing the work, he has been putting out the work, even through the pandemic. He has been putting out the work, and it's really, really awesome to have him on the show tonight. So, welcome, bro, to the show. How you doing? Blessings.
Blessed love, Dale T, all the listeners, viewers online. Greetings in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. I'm happy. I'm good. I'm in good spirits. Just celebrated my birthday 2 days ago, so I'm really in good spirits, and I'm happy to be on the awesome music show once again.
Right. And just as we're doing this, listeners, if you're not hearing us or anything, you can always just type it in the chat, and we can, because we know some little glitches are happening, but we're still pushing ahead. So feel free to just share if you see anything or you're not hearing us clearly. All right, so bro, happy belated birthday. I don't know if you celebrate one week like some people. I have some friends who celebrate one whole week, one week before and one week after. I guess for you it's just the day.
Yeah, well,
but,
for
but
me, for me, it was more, I guess, the weekend. So, I've
yeah,
been celebrating by putting out the music, and so I've been on the air from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, no Monday. So, I was that 4 days really celebration, and
yeah.
then kind of got to take a little rest tomorrow because now I get burnt out.
All right. Blessings. So you strategically released this project for your birthday, if I'm
Yes,
getting that correctly.
yes,
Okay, okay,
yes, yes. I mean,
okay.
to be honest, I would have wanted to do it from maybe around the summer, but these things go. While we are planning, God a wipe out. So God just work it out this way. I mean, the truth is that I like to do things around my birthday, so I'm really happy. Even though I was delayed but not denied.
Okay. Yeah, man, and it can be memorable because you can always remember you release Glory, the EP, on whichever birthday. I'm not gonna blow your
Hmm.
age, sure. Yeah, man, but you can always remember that. And I tend to do things around my birthday as well, because it's more memorable. You can put a date to something and it can be good. So
Yes.
tell us about this whole EP and also the name of the EP, Glory, because trust me, this is a wonderful title. Nothing hard for anybody to you can't remember it. It's just very, very simple, but really
Mm.
profound. Tell us about it and how you came about this name as well.
The truth is when you start doing singles and stuff, you might not necessarily be looking to do an EP or an album. It's just kind of
Hmm.
how things culminate, I think apart from my very first album, my first album in 2007, was
Yeah.
an album that I was trying to do, work writing songs in the studio every day, etc. But since then, most of the time you just end up you're just doing a song here and there, a singer here and there, and then it's just how it comes together in the end. So the first song I recorded on this EP is called Bounce Back, which really was written in the height of the pandemic in 2020.
Hmm.
So that's the first song I started working on 2 years ago. And that song was about, the fact that, we go through so many things at unprecedented time. People lose their jobs, people fighting with ill health and all of that stuff, mental health, and just saying that this won't last forever. God will turn it around. We will bounce back. So that was the first the song that I did as a single during the EP. And then last year's summer, so that was 2020 August, and then last year's summer I released a kind of old school dancehall track called Non-Stop. Father
Hmm.
God ready for bless him, bless we
I remember that
non-stop. I
one.
think
Remember that
yeah, I
one.
think we I think we dropped that on this program as well, and that
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
real testament of going non-stop. So
And this.
those two songs you could call them pre-releases because at the time I was just doing singles. But then, when I got to this year, I think it was about at the start of the year, I got like 3 or 4 rhythms that I just couldn't resist. All of them sounded good. All of them had a different flavor. One was like an Afro beat, one was like a mental vibe, one was hardcore dancehall. So, I like the variety of it. And I said, you know what?
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do all these songs now, it might make sense that I just put them together on a project rather than dropping one single every year, which I was doing before.
Hmm.
So you know, and part of it why it never worked out for the summer as well. Some of the producers, sometime during the pandemic, the studio was closed or producers themselves, some got ill. There was a time when I was ill, so there are different things that prevented it. But in the end, I think by September we completed it. So we just say, you know what, I could have released it maybe the first week in October. And right now, I'm just gonna give it a landmark and do it for my birthday. So you know, so I decided to release it for my birthday. The next thing about it, in terms of the title, Glory,
Hmm.
again, it's just when you're choosing the title of an EP, you look at all the songs, because again, I didn't know what I was going to call it. I just have all
Yeah.
these songs. I have 6 songs in front of me. Which one, should be the title? Should it be, we tell them for change and them start move profane. Them not want for repent in us in them remain cause. We upon a God campaign. The whole of me crew upon a God campaign. Should it be God campaign? Should it be non-stop? Should it be bounce back? Should it be me know say life hard and sometimes it make you ball? But again, I really put the title say life hard, as the title. So yeah. So I looked at all the songs and I said, okay, if we're going on a campaign for God, which is the Great Commission, who are
Yeah.
we doing it for? We're not doing it for ourselves. We're doing it for His glory, right?
Hmm.
When I thought about non-stop, when we say we're going non-stop, when God bless non-stop, we're praising Him non-stop. Again, we're praising Him non-stop to give Him glory. Um,
Uh,
the song "Bounce Back," what I thought of in that sense was when we go through trials, and I guess you can look at this with life hard and bounce back. When you go through trials, you're not the best version of yourself, right? You go through your trials and your tribulations, you feel downcast, you feel you feel what's the word? You feel downcast, you
Great.
feel persecuted, you feel broken. So you're
Yeah.
not at you're not at the best you could be. But there's a scripture that says, for I consider the sufferings of this time, not to be worthy in comparison to the glory that will be revealed in us. So part of it for me as well was that we would bounce back to a better place, bounce back to our former position, or even, our latter will be greater than our former. So we are getting back to glory in the sense of our human position where we were before. So at the end of the day, when I look at it, I say, you know what, I'm going to call this glory. So it's all for the glory of God, and it's also giving us hope that we ourselves will move from glory to glory.
Awesome, awesome, bro. Because I mean, sometimes I know a lot of artists. Because you would hear an album with a certain title, but when you listen to the album, you might get a different feel, a different vibe from it. So I like the way you put it, and it's really really awesome. So in terms of the entire composition of the album, though, I know you said you were having some challenges during the pandemic with the studios and stuff. You had to do some of this thing virtually, or because I know with the pandemic, it has taught a lot of us some things that we can do. That we usually have to drive to certain places and do certain things. Now you can send a file to a producer, he send it back, you send this, send that, and you have a full track. How did that work
Mm.
out for you?
No, well, unfortunately, I'm not like you, where as people can see in your visual, we can clearly see that you have proper headphones, you have proper mic. So you obviously, and I can see your sponges around for a good sound room. So I'm very
We're
sure
building, we're
you
building.
I'm very sure that you can record in your house and do a track and send it back to a producer. I have no such setup, and especially with two little ones around, I'm trying to keep them at bay from this interview as well, so them don't make up noise in the background. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, when a studio is closed, I can't do nothing. I have to just sit down and wait till
yeah.
it open
Oh,
again.
wait. All
Yes,
right.
so so there
Yeah.
were times when all 2 months were just stuck because and sometimes it's not necessarily the studio, but maybe it is, the government restriction saying you shouldn't go out
Mhm.
unless it's essential, unless it is,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
supermarket
Respect.
and something. So yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. That's cool. That's cool. But we build. Thanks for the compliments, man. We're building. We're
Yeah,
building.
man, I see you building. Keep up the good way.
Yeah, man. Time to come. Hopefully, we can do some production for some artists as well. Sis Latisha Thompson, blessings. Thank you for joining as well. And those on the Instagram platform, thank you so much for joining. Talking to Minister Blessed, Jamaican, but now residing in the UK. Still blazing the music, still blazing the banner of Christ high. And that's really, really good. Um, you have been able to remain relevant since your migration from Jamaica. And I'm sure you would credit that first to the Almighty God. But tell us about
Hmm.
some of the other reasons, behind your relevance, because you keep up very well with the music industry. I'm sure if you should travel back to Jamaica or some other Caribbean island, you would still, have that what is it, level of acceptance. Tell us about how you manage keeping up with that.
Um, hmm. Yeah, as I said, glory be to God, but there are definitely some practical things that we
Yeah.
can do. When I left Jamaica 20. The first thing is, when I was leaving Jamaica, I left Jamaica on January 31st, 2017. So at the start of the year. And the first
Hmm.
thing, when I knew I was leaving, the first thing I did was to put a show together, a farewell show,
Yeah.
by invitation only. So I invited people that always, I know always come to my concerts. I invited members of the media, members of the gospel industry, and so that was a good farewell event. That we were able to have different people performing, a good memory, and a good way to exchange contacts as well. For people that you probably never have contact with before. So one of the things is, thank God for technology. We do have a music ministers group head up by Nadine Blair, where a lot of artists are in. Don't know if you know that,
Hmm.
bro, but there
Yeah,
is
man.
a
Yeah,
yeah,
man. I've
man.
been to a few meetings.
Yes. So the J AGMN. So
Yeah.
that's one of the things that has helped keep me in the loop as well. If a concert I go on, even though I'm so far away, I'm able to see the live stream. I'm able to see pictures. I'm able to see what's going on, and I try to keep connected. That's one of the avenues. The next thing is that when I left, we also tried to come back a few times. I left in 2017. The next year, 2018, I returned, and me and Sean Lifer, continued the We Are Come From Far series, which even, something we started doing in Jamaica, but it became even more relevant in the fact that we are come from far, literally, physically, because from where I have to travel from to come
Yeah.
to Jamaica, it will take me almost 24 hours to reach. So, really,
Mm-hmm.
I come from far. So I did that in 2018. And then 2019, I returned again and launched my fourth album called Set Me Free. And, Nadine Blair and Basilia Barnaby were the hosts, Kevin Dowsell, Ryan Mark were guest artists, Jody and Pantry. So, that I should mention as well, the year that I came back for We Are Come From Far, it was
Yeah.
December 2018. And I was also able to perform, because I was staying till January. I was able to perform on Genesis, Kingston, Praise
Mm-hmm.
Break in St. Anne, and Gospel Tenacity in Clarendon. So I did 3 shows in the space of basically one night, because all of them
One night.
start from after watch night service. So we
Yeah.
do Genesis in a Kingston like 2 o'clock, then we reach a St. Anne around 4 o'clock and do St. Anne, then we get a little sleep, and then we go Clarendon later in the day, go to Clarendon. So that
Yeah.
was really good as well, to be able to touch so many parishes and different audiences in one go. So that was really helpful. Now, coming back to the pandemic, we had big plans for 2020, because obviously launching in 2019 October, I was looking to do a lot more in 2020, coming back to Jamaica to do a few shows, doing something in the US, doing something in the UK, and a lot of plans. But the pandemic hit, which affect everybody. All of us were
Yeah.
impacted by that. And to kind of just, all of it just kind of, everything just get put on pause, you get locked down. But I
Yeah.
think this is where the space came as well, that gave birth to stuff like this, like the Awesome Music Show, giving
Indeed.
people something to watch and listen to during the pandemic, giving people a platform to connect, with music ministers and stuff. So thank you, bro, for having me on the show
Yeah.
as well.
Welcome, bro.
So stuff like this has helped to remain relevant as well, being able to connect with your fans virtually, because it's no longer, you don't necessarily have to fly in every time for them to see you. I
Mm-hmm.
performed on a few virtual events as well. I was on Love 101, Hope Rocks. I performed for 30 minutes from a bedroom, which is
Yeah.
interesting. I performed on DJ Mark in the Mix. He had a 1 year
Yeah.
anniversary show, and I performed for 20 minutes. I think I didn't get to. Did I get to do? I don't think I got to do yours, bro. You had one as well, but I couldn't do it for some reason. I
Yeah. I think
think,
my anniversary show December.
yes, I couldn't do it because I think
Yeah.
I had something else going on as well. So, all of those things help. And then, in terms of the pandemic and being away from people, as well as open so many opportunities, because I've joined TikTok now, which I was never on TikTok before, but
Yeah.
I've joined TikTok now, which is a kind of different audience as well, where you kind of can show you're more just some little funny clips, and still point people to God same way. The first TikTok I did, I think I was talking about the fact that I haven't been on a stage in so long. What would happen if I forgot Minister Blessed slang. So it's like them invite me on a stage, and I'm like, well, it's yours truly, DJ. And then I say, no, that's not mine. And then I say, hold on, oh, mine go again. And I say, oh, yeah, this is it. Ryan Mark. And I say, no, I'm not Ryan Mark. And, you go through, and they say, oh, this is it. Minister
Oh,
Blessed,
my show.
M to the B. Shoops. So so we've been able to connect with the fans and
Yeah.
people all over the world through social media. And even last year, was it last year or 2020? Yeah, the year of the pandemic, I think. Or was it last year? Either 2020 or 2021. I did a music video that from my album called Hot. as in the album is Set Me Free, but the music video was called Hot, and that was
Yeah.
nominated by the Sterling Awards in Jamaica. And if we look
Mhm.
at this year's Sterling Awards, I mean, I haven't done anything recently to be nominated, but the Awesome Music Show was nominated as one of the virtual shows.
Yeah,
So
man.
you know,
Yeah,
all of
man.
these things,
Good.
all of these things we're doing for the glory of God. It's good to get recognition. It's good to see that even though you and I are far from our home countries, our efforts are still being
Yeah,
recognized. So
yeah. That's
you
good.
know, yeah. So to God be the glory. This EP is the first. This is the first time I'm releasing a project online. I've done 4 albums, and I've always had a physical album launch, a physical CD. Either the people pay and come in, or then come in free and then they buy your album and you sign it and all that. So it definitely was a different feeling, just releasing something online. It's not like you have
Yeah.
a live show or a live audience. You're just giving them the music. But I'm happy that I was able to do it. So the EP is called Glory, but Minister Blessed Glory, released on Saturday, October 22nd. So you can stream it on all digital platforms, so Spotify, Amazon, Apple Music. You can also download it. You can actually go on Amazon and download it as a product, as then you download it and add it to your library and leave a review, etc. And because the EP is just six, it doesn't cost much. It's like $5 US. So if you're in England, £5. So very, very, very affordable and very economical. So yeah, it's I've been getting a good feedback so far. People have their different favorite songs, but it's just been a few days. So we could say as more and more people listen, let's see which ones are really their favorites. But I think it's a very good EP, and I'm very critical. I'm somebody who is very I critique myself easily. Like I say, I know that song. People tell me they love a song, and I'm like, okay. I
Mhm.
mean, it's an okay song. It's not the biggest song in the world, but I'm glad they like
Yeah.
it. But this EP, I really like all the songs on it, and I guess that's the difference as well. When you have an album with 12, 15 songs, you might not like all of them. You might say there might be 7 or half of them that you really love, and then one and
Mhm.
two that's kind of okay. Or you might do it because you're trying to give a different flavor to the album. So it's not really your thing, but you're trying to reach different people. But you yourself don't really like it. But
Yeah.
sometimes as a musician, you have to do that because you're trying to reach different
Different
age
people.
groups and different people. So it's not about what you like. As Paul said, become all things to all men, so that we may save most.
Yeah.
So but this EP, I love every song on it. I can relate to every song on it. And even though different songs might mean different things to different people, I definitely I can see all of them embodied in my life. So yeah, I give God glory. Love, love, love the EP. So I hope other people will as well.
Yeah, man. Well, my favorite so far is Glory.
Mm.
Yeah, I
Why
kind of
is
like.
it your favorite?
I mean, it's just a nice. It gives a good feeling, and even just connecting with what you said, with the meaning behind it, even gives me
Mm,
a more connection to the song. In everything, we are just give God the glory. I mean, a lot of people, for me, that's like a testimony because so many times we go through so much things, and we fail to just give God glory out of it
mm,
because we maybe look
mm,
on the downside of it. And for me, the song resonates in that way because in everything, may I give God the glory. And
amen.
that's just how I keep pushing, keep pushing. I mean, this show is a testament of just giving God
Yes.
the glory because each time I go live, I see doors opening up and more
Amen.
people connecting, and it's just a blessing. So that's one of the things I like about the song. I
Okay.
will listen to the other tracks. We must apologize, people. We have been trying before we went live to play the songs, and for some reason, it's not playing from his side, not playing from my side. If I play it, I hear it, but you're not hearing it. So we decided we're just gonna do a straight talk interview with some acapella coming up. Want to big up Nari Berry Music, one of my good friends as well, recording artist, has been on the show before. Thank you so much for joining on the Instagram platform, and for all those who are on the YouTube channel and also on Facebook, both of my pages. Thank you so much for joining, and really, really awesome. Just share the link with your family and your friends. Share it with somebody so that they can catch the rest of the interview, or at least the replay. All right,
Mm,
bro. So I know we have a lot that we need to cover, And this is not going to be a long interview today because most people know on a Monday it's the awesome word of the week. But today we are doing it in a different style because we know that God is the same God, but He's a God of variety. He never
Amen.
changes. He's a God of variety. So today, so for those who have not heard about you before, I wanted us go back a little bit to just who is Minister Blessed? How did you get that name? And just for those who possibly even my new
Yeah.
Trinidad fans, just to know about Minister Blessed a little.
All right. So I don't want to give away my age, cause I'm feeling old. I see some gray hairs. Some gray hair I come up there. So,
Can't die
um,
about that.
all right, but so Minister Blessed. So my birth name is Matthew Blake. I was born
Yeah,
in at the University Hospital of the West Indies.
yeah,
And I grew up in a Christian home. My mother was the choir director at church. She still is after all this time.
yeah.
Um, my I don't know how far back you go, but my uncle, I have an uncle called Kevin, and he was one half of a gospel group called Kevin and Robin. They used to do dub
Yeah,
poetry.
man. Yeah, man.
Um, and I
Popular.
remember growing up, we'd always go to their concerts, and whenever I had a friend called Steve, when we would go to camp, we would sing back their songs, when we were asked to give an item or so, and it would have be stuff like go peace, peace, my soul a cry for peace. When
Yeah,
will
like
not the war and the bloodshed cease, with dub poetry style. So that was the first kind of introduction into something outside of singing, because I would be on
yeah,
school choirs. The first concert that I did on a big stage was when Salty the Singing Songbook came to Jamaica at the National Stadium, and they were drafting people from different schools to be trained to be a part of his choir. So I was drafted. I was going to Mavisville, and we were being trained by the group called Ashe. And
mm-hmm.
I got a solo part in that. How did it go again? For when your joy have been made strong. It was just one line saying, but it was such a big deal for people, because everybody get a, it's
Words,
not
of
everybody's a
course.
choir, but you get a one line. So that was my first introduction into like a big stage, National Stadium full up of people. But then in terms of ministry, what really happened was that when Papa's son, Junior Tucker, Colin Davis, when that wave of secular artists got saved, that was in 1997. So I remember they started performing on concerts, like I don't know if it was called Genesis from back then, perhaps, but I remember we used to go to church on the Rock after New Year's watch night service, and you'd see those guys perform, and there'd be other concerts throughout the year as well. But that really impacted me and others as a young people group there. So we started. It wasn't my idea at all, actually, but I think it was my cousin's idea and another guy. So they started a group called the Blessed Group. So it was four of us, and we'd go around to different concerts and events, and we'll be singing Junior Tucker songs, Papa San songs, a few a
Yeah,
cappella as well, mix it up. So that's where it started, the Blessed Group. But then what happened was that we two of them kind of wanted to play instruments. So then two of them, one went to play the drum, one went to play the bass. So it was just me and my cousin as the vocals, but we'd still go as the Blessed Group, and we'd get
mm,
featured keyboardists and what's the next thing? Keyboardists and guitarists, etc.
guitarist. Yeah,
So we entered the Youth for Christ DJ competition. This was 2001, and we won. We won at there are different levels. So we won at Portmore, one at St. Catherine, then we won all islands. So with that note, that gave us the ability or the opportunity to perform at Youth for Christ events. So we performed at Gospel in Motion, which was a really good Christmas show at the time.
mm-hmm.
Then we performed at Genesis the following year.
Genesis.
So my first Genesis was 2002. So we performed as a full band there. But after that, people started doing their own thing. My cousin migrated to the US. The drummer went to work on a ship. The bass guitarist went to join the army in the US. So I was left on my own. But we still had the name Blessed Group. So I would go places and they would introduce me alone as the Blessed Group. So, wherever I was going, there'd still be a band provided for me, and I just come up as the
Yeah,
Blessed Group. I just felt really weird. So I wanted to come up with a name for myself. No, at the time, I don't know why I never just think, say, okay, Blessed Group, why not just call myself Blessed? That would have been the smart thing to do. That's not what
yeah.
I did. I went and I said, I love chicken. I love chicken so much. And now that I'm a Christian and God has anointed me, I'm gonna call myself the anointed chicken. So I remember, so I remember, man, take off him foot. So I remember going to two ISF concerts. I think it was St. Hughes and Andrews, where the MC introduced me and said, "We now have the anointed chicken." And me and the girl, they were laugh like them. I said, "What is KFC?" I mean, I got a good reception from performing and stuff,
Yeah.
But I'm used to write the anointed chicken from my bag. So when I walk from school, everybody can say them. I say, "No, but this not gonna work out,
Properly
Not gonna work
branded.
out, Yeah, so I pray about it and say, God just I was reading Psalm 1 where it said, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the
Yeah.
ungodly, etc. So I said, you know what, the easier thing would have just be for drop the group and call myself blessed, So I went
Yeah.
with the name blessed and I was performing as blessed for at least 2, 3, 4 years just as blessed, performing all over Jamaica, coming on right before Papa San, headlining like smaller events around Portmore. They used to call me a Portmore artist because mostly Portmore used to perform, and anytime you perform a Portmore, crowds would come out, etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then I know this is supposed to be long, but then what really happened to the transition to Minister Blessed is in around, I think it was 2005. Prodigal had just released his album called Still Standing, and in that album he rebranded himself as Bless. So he was no longer Prodigal Son, he was
Mm-hmm.
Bless, Still
Yeah. I
Standing.
remember that change. Yeah.
And what happened was I'll never forget. I went to a concert as the headliner, Blessed, and when I came out, people were expecting Prodigal. So
Oh.
so it started a little confusion, and there was another time where Prodigal was booked for something, and people were expecting to see me. So like they were
Yeah.
saying, which songs you want him to sing, and people were saying Dandy Shandy or whatever, and they were like, I know them song them sing him sing I Wish and Whoa, and they must say, huh? So it was a bit of a confusion. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I was trying to I was being I had a road manager at the time with Aramat Communications, and they used to book for DJ Nicholas as well, and they were trying to see, is there anything we can do to mitigate this, come up with a name or something different, but you don't want to drop the blessed because that is what people have known you for a while.
Yeah.
So when I thought about it, I was thinking that, as a gospel reggae artist, we get a lot of fight because once people hear you're a DJ, them things say, you're ungodly or you do it for money or fame, is entertainment. That's how it was seen at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They saw it as
They
entertainment
stop.
as
They
opposed to
stop listening to the content or your lyrics and just brand you
yeah,
as well. Yeah.
exactly. So when I prayed to God about it, I said at the end of the day, I'm a minister. It's ministry that I'm doing. It's music, but it's a ministry. So I prayed about it, and God gave me the name Minister Blessed. So whenever I set foot on a stage, is my name introduces me already, because if they wanted to think I was there for money or not, them say the minister, so them know say this guy come to minister. And that's also when I coined the song where say, man and a DJ, man and a rapper, man and a entertainer. Me's a gospel minister for the Lord and Savior. Rather than pull up me that say hallelujah. What I do is not for self, I am a Christ worshipper. So, so that's Minister Blessed. And, I've just kept the name over the years. And eventually I've kind of evolved into people calling me MB, but we know it's Minister Blessed same way. So, wow, that was a long story, but we got there in the end.
That's good, man. That's good. So, at least those new fans who don't know you yet would know at least Minister Blessed used to love. Well, I think you still love chicken.
I still love chicken, but not as much. If you listen to the song in a glory, when I say, I go for piece of bread and find out it's stale, but thank God him give me rice and peas with oxtail. That's my favorite now. Oxtail, I'm my favorite now.
All right,
When
all
you grow
right.
up, there's a lot of things you couldn't really afford that you would eat a lot. But chicken is the one thing where you can
Yeah.
easily share up and stuff. But no, as an adult, and you would know, so I love for cook now. So every
Mm-hmm.
Sunday something different. Curry goat, stew. Yesterday I stew peas I cook.
All right.
Oxtail, and I love my food there now. But back in those days, it was all about the chicken.
Chicken, chicken. All right. Want to say welcome to Pastor Hank, God's Soldiers Ministry. Thank you so much for joining, sir. And it's really a pleasure having you. You were my guest on the show a few weeks ago, and it was a pleasure having you on. He's a hip hop gospel artist out of US, a pastor,
Nice.
missionary, doing really well, having a ministry. Um, I forget the name, Pastor. You could just type it in the chat. It just slipped me a while ago, but really really awesome to connect, and it's all through a very good sister and friend, Sister Michelle C. Augustine. I'm sure you guys will connect um in a few. But it's really, really awesome listening to you, bro. And I'm sure at some point when you get a chance, you will do some face-to-face event with this EP, because as you said, it's the first one you have done fully
Mm,
virtual, and I'm happy that you chose the Awesome Music Show as one of your stops. And I want to big up every radio station, every disc jockey that played your music, interviewed you over the weekend, and
mm-hmm,
you have now you're live on the Awesome Music Show in the Middle East, and it's really really awesome to touch base with you. I want you to just share with our audience any word of encouragement. It's a Monday, it's Awesome Word of the Week, but guess what? We just tweaked it to be the Awesome Music Spotlight. But share with us anything else you want to share about the EP first of all, and then you could just share a word of encouragement with our viewers, because I'm sure so many people are going through different stuff at
mm-hmm,
different times. The pandemic is about over, but so many different things are happening, and some people are still recovering. A lot of your songs are speaking to those things. So I don't want to just use a few minutes just to encourage our audience. And I'm sure you will give us some information at the end as well, which you did already, how to find the songs, how to support your music
mm-hmm.
and your ministry. So you can go ahead, bro.
Okay, thanks. So the EP is called Glory, Minister Blessed. It's 6 tracks. So the first track is called God Campaign, and that song is basically about, going into all the world and preaching the gospel, because when we look at what's happening in the world, they're doing their own campaign, whether them are campaign for
Yeah,
scamming or chop the line or killing and doing what they for the forces of darkness. So we have to be on a campaign, make our light shine so that they can glorify our Father in heaven. The second
yeah.
track is called Non-Stop. It's all about going non-stop for God. When Father God ready for bless we, him do it non-stop. So when a time for we praise and give him all the glory, we're gonna do it
One
non-stop as well.
stop.
You know.
Yeah,
The third track, which is the title track called Glory, is all about recognizing that in everything we do, we give God the glory. Whether we're going to the supermarket, we're stuck in a traffic and somebody bad driveway, those
mhm,
are the times when you really need to give God glory. We are the
yeah,
Bible, we're the only Bible that some people will ever read. So we have to live our lives in a way that gives glory to the Almighty. When they're playing football and somebody bad tackle you, or you're going at the gym, you exercise, everybody a listen for them dance or whatever, but you listen your upbeat worship music or gospel reggae, whatever it is. So that's the differentiation in how we live our lives as well. Track 4 is called Life Hard, and I'm going to use this track as well just to say, because in this track I touch on a lot of topics, and I've found that my music has evolved over the years because I believe that God caused me to reach different people in different seasons. And one thing about this song is recognizing that life is hard. There are times in our lives when life carry us out to our knees, make us feel like we're gonna ball, or we're gonna make it, or we're gonna pay the bills. You're single for about 10 years now. I try find a girl or a guy if we got married and it just now work out. So he's like, yeah, I say, when nobody no want me, I want go on with me. So when you live in a volatile community where you're afraid to come out of your house because you don't know if you're gonna get caught in a crossfire or a gunshot or whatever it is. And I just heard a voice of the Lord just saying, peace be still.
mhm,
So many thoughts flood in our minds and we're worried about this and that. But if he takes care of the sparrows, he'll take care of us. So, I know that life is hard. I know that there'll be times we go through things, during the pandemic, there were days I wasn't working, they reduced my hours from 5 days to 3 days. But we still have the same bills, so we have a lower salary
yeah,
to meet the same
indeed.
bills we used to pay before. And we have to
Yeah,
say, God, I have to put it into your hands. And he provides. Jehovah Jireh always provides.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't know. Different situations people will be going through, but I know that life hard, but don't give up. That's what I want to say. Because I've been there where, I've been suicidal before. I've gone on my rooftop for some I go jump off head first and
Wow.
kill myself.
Thank God, bro.
And I think you've been there as well, Dale T,
Yeah,
in
man. Yeah,
past
man. Yeah,
past
man.
years ago as well. So we all get these thoughts of suicide and giving up because we feel like we can't make it. But the Almighty is always there to lean on, and he says, cast all your cares upon him because he cares for you. And I'm going to segue that as well into the final track on the in the EP, which is called Bounce Back, which is
Mhm.
also saying, let me give you just to put it into words as well. It says something like, "Me know things hard and me know things tough, but my friend, you must never give up. I declare your soul will be lifted up, and you are gonna bounce back, bounce back." And when we say bounce back, it means that you will return to your former glory. You return to how things were, or even get better. So even though things look bad, so much has happened, you just lose your job. Instead of subtract, it's like your problems are add. The
Mhm.
situation sad. But my friend, I tell you, it's not over. With time and prayer, you'll get over. Gotta give you what you need to recover. So have faith and keep your composure. Yeah, I mean, so we also want to encourage somebody that, keep pressing on in the midst of a storm. Life is hard, but we will bounce back. The sufferings of this time are not compared anywhere with the glory that will be revealed in us, you know. And one of my favorite scriptures is Romans 8, is it verse 18 that says all things, not some, all
Yeah.
things work together for good to them that love God and are called according to his purpose. And I hold that very dear to my heart, because whenever you see something looking like, it now go work out, or you just can't understand, oh, this mess I go fix, but God has a purpose in it. It might not work out how you thought it would, but it will work out even better, because his plans are better and higher than our plans.
Whoa, whoa. That is more than the awesome word of the week for Monday. And I mean, just listening to you, bro, and even when you mentioned, climbing the rooftop, to take your life, and you mentioned the word a while ago, purpose. And
Mm,
I spoke about it in previous interviews. The devil saw what would be happening in 2022 and beyond for us. And when I listen to your music, the many albums you have released, the EP now, and the many, many lives around the world that you have impacted, the enemy wanted to block purpose, but guess what?
mm,
Purpose can't die. And I
amen.
mean, I'm hoping that somebody watching this now live, or somebody that will be watching the show tomorrow, next week, years and years to come, will be encouraged that, listen, it might not happen in your timing. I told somebody when I got to 40, my wife could tell you I was so stressed. I said, 40 years old, I was just stressed out, because I'm saying, whoa, I should have been here, I should have accomplished this, I should have
Mm,
accomplished that. And somebody, encouraged me to say, listen, you're much farther than you think. you
amen.
know, and
Yeah,
it's
but
really, really a blessing to see so many things happening. Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I had no idea we're 40, bro. I know the live stream say it reach 40 minutes, but me shocked for no say you're 40. Anyway, you're braver than me,
Over
because I'm
that,
not coming up
over
and
that,
come talk
over
my
that,
age. I
bro.
mean, I reach
Over that is
40
a
yet, but
blessing. Over that is a blessing.
it's a blessing. Wow.
Yeah,
Bless you,
man.
brother.
But it's really good touching base with you, bro. And it's always, I mean, we could just do this show spontaneously, because
Eh,
guess what? We talk so much behind the scenes, and I must
mm,
say publicly, people, this gentleman has been encouraging me behind the scenes. Read this show and read other things. Really an encourager, and I have to tell him, I've said it to him via WhatsApp and saying it publicly, because guess what? You have to give to Caesar what is due. You're not Caesar still, but you know the term.
I might go eat a Caesar salad after this.
And for those of you, if you by now, you would realize he's very good with lyrics. He loves to really be creative with his words, and that comes out in his music. So go out, support the man, support the music. All digital platforms. I won't even call their names, but all digital platforms you can find this new EP Glory, and connect with him on YouTube, Minister Blessed, and also all social media platforms. You can find him on those as well. And awesome, awesome music. You will see some of his shows from way back. He's no stranger to the industry. Started so far, far back, and still continues to be relevant and to do well. And that's really, really awesome, bro. I really, really appreciate that. Really, really appreciate that. So you encouraged us, just don't give up. And we always must just look to God, because He will always come through for us. So thank you
Amen.
so much, bro, for being on the show. I don't know if you have anything else that you want to say, but it's really, really good to have you on the show, bro.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me, and thanks everybody who has been tuning in live. Really appreciate it. I know some people using them lunchtime at work, depending on where they are, to just hurry up and listen. And I know some people have promised to watch it back because they couldn't
Yeah,
know.
man.
So,
We
I'm
appreciate it.
hoping this will be a blessing to everyone. As I said, just support the music ministry, Minister Blessed Glory, streaming on all digital platforms. I might just drop something in the chat so you can find the link pretty easy. But
Yeah,
thanks again for having me. Keep supporting the awesome music show. Dayle T is doing a wonderful work. Giving everybody a different platform to share their ministry, and all of us have different testimonies and different stories to tell. But at the end of the day, God keeps us all together, so we're one family. Amen. Blessings
yeah.
every time.
All right, so you can find all the songs on YouTube. As I said, we really apologize for not being able to play the songs, but guess what? We know technology sometimes has its own thing, does its own thing, and we can just be rest assured. He gave us pieces of a cappella of different ones of the songs, and he actually spoke from it. So just go out, support the music, find him on YouTube, buy the EP, support him, and I'm sure it will be much appreciated. All right, bro, blessings. And if you want to take us out with anything a cappella tonight on the show, that we really appreciate it as well, and really thankful to those who joined: Trinidad, USA, Jamaica, the UK, wherever, the UAE. Blessings. Thank you
Blessings,
so much for joining.
blessings.
Thank you,
Me
thank you.
know say life hard, and sometimes it make you ball, but not give up at all. Just put your trust in a God. Yeah, yeah. Me know say life hard. And sometimes it make you ball. But not give up at all. Just put your trust in a God. Listen. You get up and you wake up and you can't pay the bill. Feeling so sick, but you can't find no pill. Feared for go a road in case you get killed. The voice of the Lord say, peace be still. Now your situation change. Jesus step in your whole life, rearrange. You had a bad chapter. Now you turn a new page, turn a new page. Me know say life hard, and sometimes it make you ball, but not give up at all. Just put your trust in a God. Bless you, bless you, blessing, blessed
Bless
love,
you.
everyone.
Blessings, everybody. I just dropped the YouTube links to the songs in the chat, so you can just for your listening pleasure, but still go out, support the album, and just be a blessing to the minister, and I'm sure it will be appreciated. Bless you, man of God. Take care of yourself and your family, and
You
we'll
do the same,
definitely
bro.
connect again. This show is your show, so guess what? Just reach out whenever you need to reach out, bro.
Blessed love, bro. Blessed
All
love.
right, all right. Take care. Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So there you have it, Minister Blessed. A friend and brother, all the way from the UK, and the new EP Glory was released just 2 days ago, the 22nd of October, to commemorate his birthday. Still not giving away his age, yes, but that was in celebration of his birthday, and really happy to have him on the show, and really impactful. Looking at all the things that the enemy could have done to this young man, and he's still blazing the trail, and just giving God glory through all of what he has gone through. It's really a blessing. So I want to thank everyone for being on tonight. It's my pleasure sharing this platform with you. The awesome word of the week with a difference today, and we just kind of flipped the script a little bit to do the awesome music spotlight on Friday. Though this coming Friday, we will be having the awesome music spotlight, but we'll be doing a pre-show for the ABGMA Awards. Sister Michelle will be my co-host on that show, and really I'm looking forward to it. We're behind the scenes putting everything together, so we want you to join us. And even if you're not on the lineup and you just want to just stop by to say hello or just to greet the platform, you're more than welcome to do that. And we just want to bless up Apostle Stanshaw Cornelius, for being, that pioneer to encourage ministers around the world with this award that has been going on for a couple years now. And the Awesome Music Show is a nominee in the category of online radio show of the year. Hope I'm calling the title right. But guess what? We are a nominee, and it's really awesome to be a part of it. And thank God for two nominations this year: Sterling Gospel Awards, which just concluded on October 8th. We are also a nominee in that category, and God has been really, really good to us. Thank you so much, sis. Thank you so much. And yes, we thank him so much and we wish him all the best in his endeavors. And we thank you so much for tuning in. And we will see you on another live broadcast on Wednesday. We'll be streaming also or travel or awesome travel zone Wednesday. So look out for that. And then Friday will be the pre-show for the AB GMA Awards. Hope I'm not forgetting anything, but thanks to every single person, all MB fans. Thank you so much for tuning in to this channel. Like, share, subscribe, and comment on the video. That helps the algorithm. Comment on the video as much as you can and share it. Just share it with somebody because I'm sure there's something in this interview that will touch the life of somebody. So be blessed, take care, enjoy the rest of your Monday afternoon, wherever you are. For those who are already in the night, enjoy your night. And my name is Dayle T. Much blessings. You can check out the songs and just be a part of this wonderful ministry. Take care. See you. It's another awesome day given to us by an awesome God to do some awesome things. And I'm happy that we had a great show. We did some awesome things with the time. Much blessings. Take care. Greetings.